Good morning guys, Coach Theo here on Common Sense. Beautiful day, on my way back home from an early morning neck and arm workout. Not my typical workout, but it's vacation. I'll take any chance I get to justify training arms by themselves because, well, first of all, who doesn't love a good arm pump, am I right? But it is a weak point of mine, and while we're at it, why not just throw a little bit of neck in there? Beautiful gym, that one, old school gym, wooden floor, weights that jingle. Yeah, just a great feeling hitting that workout this morning. So today I want to do a video I've been meaning to do for a while, and the title I've had in mind is Science Fatigued Fitness. Then I just so happened to see a video from Bugenhagen this morning. Like, he posted it a few days ago, but I saw it this morning before heading to my workout, and well, I felt there was a lot of overlap in that video, what he was talking about and what I wanted to talk about, and it sort of reminded me of this video, right? So to be clear, it's not at all an anti-science video at all. It's about being fatigued on many things in fitness and just wanting to come back to, well, what I would call common sense, right? Uncommon sense. So we'll see now. I know I don't have too much time. I'm gonna play a croquet tournament. How do you say that in English? Croquet. So I'm telling this mostly to myself. This is the one take I'll do now. Okay, so I guess I'll just start with talking about my sentiments I had in mind and then get Eric into the picture. So, first of all, I'm someone that's way more, rookie, fresh to lifting than when it comes compared to Eric Bugenhagen. Both, like, I've just been lifting for 7 years, but since I'm someone that came from hitting rock bottom in life and changing my life completely, and fitness and a healthier lifestyle being part of that, I'd say that those 7 years I've done pretty damn well, if I may say so myself. But of course, apart from the shorter experience with training, I've just been around the whole community and thing of lifting, the culture, right? But so, I've seen it, I've thought about it more lately, but I guess this was probably already starting to happen when I got into things. But I feel like, lifting, it's a very practical thing. Of course, we can always have theory about everything we do, but it's so physical and practical. It's like, yeah, it's really something we do, right? And me, I've always wanted to, just get good results and enjoy what I'm doing. And I want to teach and guide others to get good results and enjoy what they're doing. But it's become so much about do this, not that. Oh no, science says you do this. Oh, this is actually more optimal than this. Blah, 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 blah. It's so, it's sort of like, I want to, if I see a jacked guy who's like a coach or content creator, I'm like, what do you do, bro? What's your philosophy? What's your teachings? What has worked for you? That's what I want to hear. Not you laying out why something is like optimal, just is objectively optimal because science or something, or because you're super smart reasoning about it. I don't want to, because there is no such answer. That's the thing, where I'm coming from. I'm someone that overcame daily panic attack syndrome, and, really healing myself and turning pretty damn poor mental health into really good and physical health at the same time, right? And my handle, Uncommon Sense, it's called that specifically because I've seen that, hey, when I just used discernment, logic, my own experience, experimenting with things, I can find my way to what works for me. And then I always say about the thing that, like lifting, that the big fundamental principles, like, progressive overload and stuff, yeah, that's just not something anyone is going to get away from. But then there's going to be little individual tweaks that work better for someone. And it's not always about like what is optimal. If we just treat you as a little robot soldier that can follow orders, and not what is optimal in that sense, like what do you enjoy doing? What do you like to do, right? Like there's so many things that goes into what is optimal for you. You see what I mean? That robot, I mean that if you could just take input and execute, maybe sometimes something would be better than what you're doing. But if you don't like to do that, and you wouldn't stay consistent if you tried to do that, it's not optimal, because you aren't a little robot. You are a human being. And so, yeah, lately especially, I felt like watching Instagram mainly, but YouTube also, following fitness content, there's always this new thing that there's some stupid fucking battle about that doesn't matter at all, you know. I feel like it's some kind of high school thing when it's like these kids versus these kids. Like, oh, you see, oh, you're still doing drop sets in 2025, or like, oh, you're wasting time if you're doing more than 8 reps because of fatigue and blah, 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 blah. It's always these stupid fucking battles that don't matter. And me, I feel like, because of course my channel, I don't do just pure training fitness content, but many times I feel like I don't even want to get involved in this shit. You know, I just want to talk about what I like about lifting, how I approach lifting, how I would think if you have questions for me about lifting, like this is what I would think about it for you in your situation. I don't care to just, this is like black and white statements. There's always this battle like, no, this is the right way. This is the right way. And yeah, it's unfortunate. Science Fatigued Fitness was the title I had in mind. And it's because, you know, I'm fatigued on the fact I hate to have said so many times on live streams and stuff that, you know, I'm not against science, but, like, of course I like science, but, because of course I'm not against science, but really, at this point, I feel like, because it's not just science, that it's not just on that, but at this point, I feel like it's causing more harm than good. My friend Fass, or Fast Lifts, Coach Fass, since he said it to me, that often about the scientific things, it becomes too one-dimensional. You look at one variable and be like, well, this is optimal, clearly, because you see, this is the results of the study. But then, like we already mentioned, we're talking about human beings that are way more complex than one variable in lifting, you know. So it becomes so stupid. There are so many things I know that I do that aren't like, oh, optimal according to the science, but still I'm here with great results. It's like, it's ridiculous. You know, I got it like that I ego lift and stuff, that I should control the eccentric more. First of all, I control the eccentric. I just don't go ridiculous cyborg, technique cyborg, you know. But all these things, this is what I mean. It's become an intellectual stupid thing when people like to argue, like to yap about, no, but this is optimal because of this, blah, 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 blah. Just results speak way louder than your smart arguments trademark there, you know. And yeah, it's just ridiculous when you're accused of like ego lifting by some little pencil neck. Thanks for that one, by the way, Eric. Because, you know, if you're accusing someone of ego lifting and you're way smaller than, guess who has the ego here, right? And so I think Eric's video, he made many great points. First of all, this that I've already said about enjoyment. You have to, there can be ways that like would work. Again, like the way I put it, if you were a robot just ready to take input. But you are a human being. We have to think about what works for you, what will you stay compliant with, what will you stay consistent with. Then that is more optimal for you, right? And I'm also, you know, another thing that annoys me is that, you know, I'm clearly a bodybuilder. Like I call the method that I practice and teach others holistic bodybuilding. So it is a high goal of mine. But first of all, it was always about health. It was always about health and just being strong and healthy. And then I found that, when I approach training in this way, I can actually get the sort of aesthetic results I cared more for in my teens, so now I can have fun with that. But still, that's not the only thing that I care about. And so many times I feel like these battles become between that. Like, no, this is more optimal for building muscle. Like isolating also the one and only goal of building muscle. Like me, I have throughout this entire time, it's like, what do I enjoy? And the other goals, I have certain skills I want to develop. And how can I combine this in the best way to build muscle, you know? It's never been just like, how can I shape my process and practice just according to the one outcome of building larger muscles? No, I want to at least have a certain athletic ability. Hence why I've never been big on a leg press. Like, if you're into just blowing up your quads in a machine, go ahead, do the leg press. I do ass to grass front squats. You know, I squat now less weight than I did years ago. I have bigger legs now, but I also feel much better in my hips, and I feel like a fucking badass doing that. And again, if someone would be like, why do you do the front squat for legs, for quads? It cannot be the optimal one, at least the back squat, you know. But it's like, Well, first, I just like it. I think it's a badass exercise. But again, there's other stuff going on there. Like, I have a big chunky core, which is in part genetic, but part of it is like prioritizing an exercise like the front squat. I'm training my legs, but I also engage my core and abs. Front squat is one of the compound exercises that really engages the abs the most. So you see, it becomes so ridiculous when it's always so isolated like this. Let me just break some people coming here. No, but I guess actually to not even make this video too long, I think before even mentioning, you know, transitioning over to taking Eric's points, like there's already so much overlap in what I want to say, because it is this, like what do you enjoy? It's such a major aspect of it, but also this fucking yapping. Like I feel like the environment in the fitness community on social media or whatever is so much like some kind of high school, this group against this group yapping about this and that, and also just this thing about being so fucking one-dimensional and hyper-focused on, like, is this theoretically optimal for the single goal of growing a muscle larger? And I guess one other thing that Eric brought up too was this about, because I think that's part of it, like, no, it's actually better to do this exercise because you isolate the lat more and you remove the biceps involvement. You know, people using cuffs for absolutely everything. Look, I for years also used cuffs for some things. I had cable lateral raise dual. I love to have cuffs and just like blast the delts like that. And I could see doing it on some kind of triceps push down and that. But it's also that thing, like just because you isolate and activate one muscle better, like is it really better? You know, like sometimes just doing something fucking heavy and intense when you just activate the nervous system or you grab onto something, that might be more ideal. But I don't really care if you want to isolate muscles like that. If that's what you're about, you know, using one muscle at a time, like a freaking little robot, you know. Personally, I want to be jacked and stacked, but I also want to be skillful. I want to feel like a beast. I want to have good flexibility. I want to build as many athletic, losing my English here, athletic abilities at the same time as possible, right? So I will choose a front squat over a leg press, you know. I will choose to not hyper isolate every single exercise. Actually let muscles, it's a system, it's a chain of joints and muscles, right? And yeah, I will do many things, even though being a bodybuilder, someone that wants to sculpt a physique, I'll do many things that I even know might not be ideal for the single outcome of building muscle. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know how to end this video, guys. It's like, I wish we could get back to just teaching, when it comes to like what is optimal and ideal, like just teaching these fundamental principles, like, yeah, compounds plus isolations, progressive overload and that. But then I'd like to see people have their own fucking school of things. Like I said, I don't care for you to cite studies in my face, bro. I want to know what you do. What do you like? What gets you going? What's your philosophy? What are your other goals than just blowing up the muscle no matter what? Unless you are like a, you know, competitive bodybuilder, I guess that is your only goal then. But yeah, I think I'll end this video here. You know, I love Eric Bugenhagen. I think he's exactly what the fitness industry needs now. And yeah, I'll just say that at one point, when I was going through a darker time a few years ago, just seeing Eric Bugenhagen and Juyi Mufu hoist heavy-ass weights, searcher deadlifts and stuff, just fucking enjoying it. That's what lifting is about to me. Even if I enjoy building a physique and getting into the latest science and thinking, oh, maybe I can do this little tweak to my training. But in the end, that's what it's all about to me. So yeah, guys, please like and comment. All comments and likes help support the channel, so it's very much appreciated. I do holistic bodybuilding coaching, getting jacked and stacked mentally, physically, spiritually, working ourselves, body, mind, and soul, becoming that person that isn't just a little fucking doll that blew up all their muscles like that. No, it's a holistic work. You look like a beast because you become a beast, okay? The best you. So if you're interested, you can send me a DM on Instagram or email me. It's in the description below. You can pick up my training book, everything, training, mindset, philosophy you need to become a self-reliant, jacked and stacked individual. And really, I'm teaching my method, the fundamentals, the way I see them, and then my approach to it, right? Please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. An Eric Bugenhagen mindset. Peace.